একবার তুমি চালিয়ে দেখে নাও ঠিকঠাক আসছে নাকি। হ্যাঁ, দিয়ে সেন্ড করো। ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, এটা চলো। হুম হুম হুম। এ বাবা, চাবি ফেলে গেছে নাকি? হুম, কি হয়তো অডিও অন করে রেখেছে।
Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
এটা অনেক লেটে হচ্ছে।
We are waiting for our audience. Then we will start. No?
এই আওয়াজটা বাজে দেখতে পাওয়া যাচ্ছে, এর থেকে বেশি কি পাওয়া যায়? প্রচুর ঝামেলা। সেটা তো অসুবিধা নেই। কি করে নাম করে?
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Within few minutes, we will start our national webinar. Our resource person and guest, he has already joined with us, but we are still waiting for our audience. Within few minutes, we will start our program.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Within few minutes, we will start our national webinar. There is a request to all of you that end of the program we will provide our Google form, and participant must have to fill up this form, and obviously your recognized mail ID, and it will automatically create the e-certificates. So please wait the end of the program. Okay, and then you have any problem to contact with our person, uh, we will send our their phone number, so there is a no problem. Please stay with us at the last of our program. Good morning to all of you and welcome to our college national webinar. It's our immense pleasure that the IQSC and the Intellectual Property Rights Cell today jointly organize this national webinar. At present, Director of Assam Science and Technology, Dr. Joydeep Borua, and Deepamoni Vaishyo. She is a project scientist of Patent Information System. Those who are already present here, uh, here in our webinar, our principals are Dr. Satyabroto Shahu, our IQSC coordinator, Professor Sudokshina Sengupta, and all our distinguished colleagues and all our loving students, all are present here. So we will start our grant program, and behalf of this Dhrubochand Haldar College family, I welcome to all of you. So let's start our program. Intellectual property rights has emerged as an indispensable strategic tool in today's knowledge system. And we all know that our institution, this is situated in a rural village, so it is a rural college. So it has immense potentiality to work on indigenous activity with rural skills and development for sustainability. So our IPR cell and IQSC center always thinking about how to make capable our institution and our student in this process. So at that reason, we are arranging this national webinar to discussing about how to protect this intellectual property in a proper way. So this is our national webinar, and again I am really very thankful to the Assam Science and Technology Department. Now I am welcome to our guest and obviously the resource project as a scientist. Now I am welcome to our principal sir, Dr. Satyabroto Shahu. Please say his valuable speech and inaugurated this program in our national webinar. Sir, please address your welcome address and start our national webinar as a meaningful way. Sir. Sir, unmute yourself. Please, sir.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, respected teachers, dear students, and all distinguished participants. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to today's national webinar on intellectual property rights, organized jointly by IPR Cell and IQSC of Dhrubochand Haldar College. Firstly, I would like to offer my sincerest thanks to Dr. Brototi De, convener IPR Cell, Head Department of Geography, and Professor Sudokshina Sengupta, Coordinator IQSC and Head Department of English, and all the members of IPR Cell and IQSC for their sincerest effort to organize this seminar. I am very much grateful to our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Joydeep Borua, who have consented to deliver his lecture in this platform. Dr. Borua is a person of high eminence and great distinction. He is the director of Assam Science, Technology and Environment Council. We are very much fortunate that we'll get an opportunity today to interact with him. We are very much thankful to him. I extend my warm welcome to him in this webinar. The concept note of today's webinar is very much relevant to the present time. The lecture will be focused on intellectual property right. Presently, we often come across this word intellectual property right, but we don't have the right knowledge about intellectual property right. I hope today's lecture will be very much beneficial to us, and I wish a great success of this webinar. I am sure all of us will feel enriched with knowledge at the end of this lecture. I welcome all of you once again, and hopefully next few hours will be very much enjoyable for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I am request our coordinator of IQAC cell, Professor Sudokshina Sengupta. Please deliver your lecture.
Thank you, Brutati. A very good morning to all of you. On behalf of the IQAC and the IPR cell of Subhachand Haldar College, I extend a warm welcome to all of you present here. At the outset, I must thank our respected principal, Sir, Dr. Shotabrata Shahu, our honorable speaker, Dr. Joydeep Borua, our guest, Srimati Dipamani Boisho, and my colleagues and all my students, my dear students, who are here today to listen to this talk on intellectual property rights. Now, generally speaking, most of us present here have no idea, have no clue about what are intellectual property rights. We have a shallow idea, and we all know that intellectual property rights actually provide certain exclusive rights to inventors, to creators, manufacturers of that property, so that others may not reap commercial benefits from their creative ideas. So I think that intellectual property rights also take into its fold patents, trademarks, copyrights, etc., etc. But there are more to it, and we are all waiting eagerly to understand more about the intellectual property rights, how intellectual property rights are extremely relevant in today's society, in today's world, and what are the benefits or what are the disadvantages that intellectual property rights give us. So with that expectation, with that eagerness, we welcome Dr. Borua once again. And without saying anything else, let us start the talk right away. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudokshina. Now I am requesting Dr. Malini Basu. Please introduce our guest speaker and we will start our lecture. Thank you, Malini.
Good morning to all, one and all. I am Dr. Malini Basu from Department of Microbiology of Subhachand Haldar College. It is an immense golden opportunity on my part to introduce our guest of honor today. So without further words, I would like to add that today we have with us Dr. Joydeep Borua, Director, Assam Science and Technology, Guwahati, Assam. Sir, we are immensely grateful to have you with us and we look forward for your insightful lecture. Sir has a wide spectrum of experience about the research field on environment and entrepreneurship. He with his team has conducted different school projects for schools and academic institutions. Throughout the year, they have engaged with applied science and environment related activity. So today we would listen to his topic, the intellectual property rights and entrepreneurship. So sir, the platform is yours. We are eager to listen to you. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I thank Subhachand Haldar College Actually, I had to be on journey today. I have halted my car somewhere, and I'll try. There may be some network issue. Still, I'll just switch off my video so that network do not disturb. First of all, respected Principal Professor Sahu, Dr. Sudaksina Sengupta, Dr. Malini Basu, Dr. Bhatoti De, and all esteemed participants, and my colleague from Assam Science, Technology and Environment Council, Ms. Dipamuni Baisya. Let me share my presentation first. Give me a minute. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes.
Okay. So first, let me introduce about my organization, which I am representing. Assam Science, Technology and Environment Council is a government of Assam organization under the Science, Technology and Climate Change Department. Like this STEC, we saw in short form we tell it as STEC. Like in STEC, in every state we have the state science and technology councils. They have a primary mandate of taking science to the people, technology promotion, environmental conservation and awareness. These are some of the mandates of the state science and technology councils. They are set up under the mentorship of Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. So the councils have different mandates. I have already informed that through different divisions. At present, our council has two main divisions. One is Science and Technology, one Environment Division. To both the divisions, we are trying to fulfill the mandates of the council. And one of the important area is innovation, intellectual property rights. For that, actually, many state councils now have a patent information center. And through that center, we have been trying to popularize the different aspects of intellectual property rights, or in short form IPR, why it is necessary, how different rights can be achieved, protected, and how it is going to be beneficially proprietor of different rights. And also we are trying to popularize this concept among different colleges of the state. You'll be happy to know that at present our council PIC has tie up with 7 universities in Assam, across Assam, to set up IP cells. Through those IP cells, we are now reaching out to the people, to different levels of students. And now also we are regularly having interaction program with different colleges. And now we are very happy that in recent times, in the last couple of years, suddenly IP has become a very important topic of discussions among the college, in various colleges and among the students. And this is a very good sign, because till a few years, the IP was not taken much seriously. But in recent developments, because it's immense contribution in the commerce and economy of a state, the IP has become a very integral part of different processes. So today, actually, what I'm going to highlight different aspects of intellectual properties, what type of different intellectual properties are, and how they are going to help our economy, how different entrepreneurship ventures can be set up on this foundation. So these are some of the areas I am going to discuss. I thank our Dipamuni Baisya to help me in preparing the presentation. And during interaction, Dipamuni will also participate, because I may not be available for the entire period, because I have already mentioned that I am on a journey. Still, I will complete my presentation and try to interact with these participants. And if anything remains, Dipamani, who is a technical expert in this IP related issues, particularly in geographical indication, and she will be interacting with you to answer to all the queries. So these are some of the issues I'm going to discuss today. Introduction to intellectual property rights, importance of IPR, and what type of IPRs are there, IP strategies and entrepreneurship, and then I'll come to the conclusion. So these are the different issues I'm going to discuss today. So first, what are intellectual properties and intellectual property rights? Intellectual property means anything we create from our mind. These are all intellectual property. If I am writing something, that is my intellectual property. If I am designing something, that is my intellectual property. If I am innovating something, that is my intellectual property. If I am constructing something through my own creation with creative mind, that is also some kind of intellectual property. And you see, right over my property is a very natural process. If I am constructing a house, that is my own house. That means belongingness. Nobody can come and do anything upon that house without my permission. Nobody can sell my house. Nobody can sell my land without my permission. So this is how, that means ownership. So intellectual property right is an ownership of my own creation or creation of a group of people. Why I am telling a creation of a group of people, there are some practices which are evolved over the times. We cannot say that somebody is owner of this, but a community is owner. Say for some kind of traditional practice like handicraft. So it is being there since thousands of years and hundreds of years. So I cannot say that this is the person who innovated this style of handicrafts. Then I will say that it will belong to a community. That community have the right over it. Some traditional medicinal practice, it is being there for hundreds of years, thousands of years. Nobody can say that it is my own property. No, it belongs to the particular community. So this way, there are different types of intellectual properties and how we have to protect it, how we have to do it. Now that is where the awareness is required. I'm very happy that Drupchand Haldar College is taking the initiative to create awareness among their students and participants about different aspects of intellectual properties. So without further delay, let us go ahead. So intellectual property rights are the rights given to a person over a creation of their minds. But along with persons, there are some rights which can be given to a community or a society. They usually give the creator an exclusive right over the use of his or her creation for a certain period of time. So intellectual property right is not for a longer period of time. It is a certain period of time. So that aspect will come. So why is intellectual property rights are important? Intellectual property protection is critical to fostering innovation. So for many months and years, I am trying to solve a problem, local problem, say maybe some agricultural problems, then I am finding some innovations, agriculture seed storage problem. Normal storage is there, but it's a flood-prone area. All seeds are damaged. Now I am now trying to find out some innovative practice, innovative way how to store these seeds. So this may take a months or years, and ultimately I am finding a solution. I am innovating something, but I want to own that innovation. Otherwise, somebody should be held by their own name. Therefore, there should be some provision in the act of law so that I can protect my right, protect the innovation, so that it remains my property. So therefore, it is very essential, it is very critical for fostering innovation. Otherwise, the incentive for innovation will not be there. Without protection of ideas, business and individuals would not reap the full benefit of their inventions, and would focus less on research and development. So it is an incentive for researchers also. Finding something, say, I am doing a research, after long-term research, I am publishing a paper. If there is no intellectual protection, property protection, then my findings can be copied by anybody else. Therefore, nowadays we talk about the copyright. That is also intellectual property, that we need a complete protection of my findings of research. Otherwise, anybody can copy and do anything on my findings. Similarly, artists should not be fully compensated for their creation, and cultural vitality would suffer as a result. Just a minute. So IPR has become an integral part of international trade agreements and negotiations. Countries with robust IPR protection mechanisms tend to attract more foreign direct investments, foster stronger trade relationships, and benefit from technology transfer and innovation-driven collaboration. So this IPR has already been integral part of international all types of trade agreements. That means nobody can steal one intellectual property from one country to another without following a formal procedure of the act. So whether one innovation is patented in India or in USA, it doesn't matter, but it is some kind of protection is necessary. And you know that the World Intellectual Property Organization is there, who gives all the guidelines and technicalities of maintenance of intellectual property. We know that every year, 26th April, is being celebrated as Intellectual Property Right Day, IPR Day. So these are very important things we should know. Why this IP Day is there, so that the importance of intellectual property can be widely popularized among the people, because it is not only essential for the high-end innovators and researchers, it is equally important for the community, rural people also. Otherwise, if they do not know the right of their intellectual properties, so anybody can steal their knowledge, their wisdom, because say one community has some traditional practices for hundreds and thousands of years. They are using some medicines, they are using their local biodiversity. So these ideas can also be protected, because we have now biodiversity rules 2002. Under those acts, we are now preparing biodiversity registers, people's biodiversity registers. Though this kind of IP are not related to this, the IPR I am going to discuss today, but you see, people's biodiversity register is some kind of protection of traditional wisdom of a certain community, through which we can now claim that these traditions belongs to that community of utilization of biodiversity, the conservation of biodiversity, so that nobody else can claim that it is our property, because that will now belong to that community. It is also protected under the Biodiversity Rule 2002. So this is another aspect of intellectual property protection. Therefore, this kind of IP awareness is not only essential for highly educated people, high-end researchers, innovators, but it is equally important for the rural community, so that they are alert about they become alert about their own rights, about their own wisdom, about their own traditional practices. It is therefore this kind of awareness should go to the grassroots level. IPR has become an integral part of internet. I have already discussed about this. So what are the different types of IPR we are going to discuss today? One is patent, then trademark, copyright, design registration, geographical indication. You see, many people confused with patent and geographical indication. When we got geographical indication tag, GI tag for Muga silk of Assam in 2009 or 2008, I think, and many people were asking that now we have already. Hello. So many people are asking that you have got patent for Muga. That means that confusion is there, always there, that what is the difference between patent and geographical indication, trademark, copyright, design registration. We have to understand those differences. Then only we will be able to do the justice to all these things. So patent, trademark, copyright, design registration, geographical indication, these are some of the different types of IP we are going to discuss. Now, what is a patent? A patent is a set of exclusive rights granted by the government to an inventor or assignee for his invention for a limited period of time. I've already informed that somebody is developing a machine.
Papun Mondal, please mute yourself.
So patent is a set of exclusive rights granted by the government to an inventor or assignee for his or her invention for a limited period of time. So if anybody is inventing something, some machines, some circuits or something like that, then this can be protected by the Indian Patent Act 1970. Hello, some noise here.
Papun Mondal, please mute yourself. Papun Mondal, participant Papun Mondal.
Patent is a set of exclusive rights granted by the government to an inventor or assignee for his or her invention for a limited period of time. So once a patent is received, patent is granted, it is not forever. A certain period of time. After that, if there is no extension is taken, it will be now going to the public domain. So may I continue? So it is valid for a period of 20 years, and Patent Act 1970 is the legislation that till date governs patent rights in India. So under that act, we have to, once a patent is or some invention is there, if I think that it has got a novelty, whenever I want to do some kind of patenting, it must have novelty. Novelty means it should be new. I cannot copy anything for something from somewhere. We cannot copy it from anywhere. So it must have some novelty. Without a novelty, there cannot be any patent. So it is very important aspect everybody should keep in mind that without patent, without novelty, nothing can be patented. The entire system, entire innovation, some or most part of it should be new and novelty, and it should have a novelty. Otherwise, it cannot be applied for patenting. Once I think that it is a patentable, then what we have to do? There is a patent office. I think one patent office in Calcutta itself. So that patent, there is a process of application. You may take consultancy from somewhere else. But in Assam, our Patent Information Center has a facility through which we are helping the innovators to come to our office, how to file a patent, whether it has got a novelty. We have a system to identify. Before filing the patent, we can tell that your product is a patentable product because we have a system, we have a software through which we can search. If there is already this type of invention is already there, you need not have to go for patenting. So there is a system of filing patent. First, you have to search, convince yourself that your product is a patentable product. Otherwise, you should not go for it. I've already informed that there are patent consultants there. They can help you in finding out whether it is patentable, whether it has got a sufficient novelty or not. Otherwise, like in a step, I think the patent information center, you can go there if it is there, and they will help you. Then we are coming to design. So we know that industrial design, you see all these bottles, different types of designs of bottles are there, or there may be some design of a manufacturing a car, there may be design of a architect. All these designs can be patented. Industrial design is simply a design is the ornamental or aesthetic aspect of an article produced by industry or handicraft. Registration and renewals, both facilities are there. So that means if I'm going to do some manufacture some product, it must have a design which that aesthetic design which can be seen from the outside. If I do not get the protection of my rights over the design, then somebody else can copy it. And from the outside, you can see that the similar product you can purchase from the market without knowing the actual authenticity. Therefore, registration of industrial design is very essential while we are going to do any kind of manufacturing of products. Therefore, this is a very important protection. The registration provides protection 15 years. So initially we will get a protection for 10 years. After that, we have to apply for protection for another 5 years. Then 15 years, we'll have that industrial design is protected, and it is now protected under the Design Act of 2000. So this industrial design is a very important aspect in types of intellectual property for the entrepreneurs coming up for protection of their own manufacturing product. Then we are coming to copyright. They're very interesting issues because you see, whenever we publish a book, we always write that copyright to the authors, copyright to the publishers, and we always think that we have got absolute right over it. Yes, by writing that, you are prohibiting somebody from copying the content of that book or publication by others. But there is a Copyright Act 1957 under which you can register your copyright by following proper procedure. Then what will happen? It will go globally. Then everywhere it will be known. It will be known that your creation is being protected under the Copyright Act. So there will be lesser possibility of plagiarism, and you will get a legal protection. So that if you file a suit against if somebody is copying your product, intellectual property, then legally you will be in a more stronger position. Therefore, nowadays in different universities and colleges who are regularly doing publications of their textbooks and other articles, maybe some content on a website, different, all these are, you can go for a protection under the Copyright Act 1957 with the copyright rules which governs the laws related to copyright protection in India. So just by putting copyright by an author in the published book is a different aspect, and registering your copyright is a different aspect. It will give you more legal protection, and many of us are very least aware about this provision of the Copyright Act. Therefore, normally we do not go for registering a copyright, but we just think that by writing a copyright by the author, copyright by the publisher is sufficient. Yes, I'm repeatedly saying that yes, you are getting the protection, nobody can copy it, but still registering under the legal provision make you more stronger. Then coming to trademark. You see, the trademark is a very common sight. Whenever you are purchasing a product, you will see this a trademark. Here I am putting the trademark of Nestle. For any kind of product, you are going to purchase a biscuit or Britannia biscuit, you will get a different trademark. You are going to purchase a detergent powder, different brand, you will get a different trademarks. And trademark says that it gives the authenticity of a product. Without a trademark, it's very difficult. Now you see the piracy of trademarks is similar. A trademark is almost like similar trademark. One trademark is copied in the most very similar manner, and we are overwhelmed by saying that no, it is the original product we purchased, and when we use that, the quality is not there. So you have to be very careful in identifying trademarks in a market. And moreover, these trademarks actually gives an authenticity of the product, and the proprietor also, they can bring the commodity, bring the consumer product to the market with more confidence. And therefore, registering trademark under the Trademark Act 1999 is very important for all entrepreneurs, all business persons who are coming forward to bring their product to the market with more authenticity and with more confidence. Now I am coming to one of the most important part of this, the geographical indication. Geographical indication is a sign used in products that have a specific geographical origin and possesses qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. I've already informed that there are some intellectual properties which belongs to the community. I am giving you here 3 examples: Darjeeling tree, Muga silk of Assam, and Bangla Rasgulla. You see, while the Bangla Rasgulla is a very traditional item, it is known across the world, but the Rasgulla is now available everywhere. In all parts of the country, all parts of the world, you will have Rasgulla. But we do not know what is the origin of the Rasgulla. Therefore, when the Bangla Rasgulla applied for geographical indication, then another competition came from the Orissa. Then there is a competition between Orissa and Bangla. Ultimately, both the Rasgullas got the geographical indication tag, and both have their own uniqueness. Rasgulla from Orissa is having their own uniqueness, ingredients have own uniqueness, and Bangla Rasgulla is also having an own uniqueness. That uniqueness is conserved. How this geographical indication is going to help? Nobody from anywhere else can say that it's a Bangla Rasgulla now. Bangla Rasgulla means it belongs to Bangla. Somebody can produce Rasgulla, but they cannot claim that it's Bangla Rasgulla. Now, whenever I am going to a market, I want to taste a original Rasgulla, then I will search for a Bangla Rasgulla. That means I am now going to get a genuine product of Bangla Rasgulla, which will give me the original taste of Bangla Rasgulla. Otherwise, anybody can copy and say that it's a Rasgulla Bangla ka hai, aap le lo, but it is not give it proper taste and uniqueness and purity. Therefore, GI tag is an assurance of the quality of a product, origin of a product, and authenticity of a product. So, Muga silk of Assam is the first GI of Assam. It is GI tag number 55. Because immediately after the Patent Information Center was started in Assam, our council, Assam Science, Technology and Environment Council, has become the proprietor of Muga silk of Assam, and we have applied to the Registrar of GI that Muga silk of Assam should be protected under the GI Act, and accordingly we have got the GI tag. Once GI tag is there, the next to know that in Assam now there are around nearly 300 users of GI tag in Assam. How they are benefited? It is directly related to the development of entrepreneurship. How they are benefited? You will be surprised to know the conventional product, Muga silk product, the price they were getting after putting the GI tag, they got much more value on their product. Recently, I have seen one Muga Mekhala Sadar, Muga silk of Mekhala Sadar. It cost around 78,000. Then I have asked the GI tag user who is purchasing from you by paying 78,000 one pair of Mekhala Sadar. She said, no, I am now getting the international market with more confidence, and people from outside India, they are purchasing Muga silk with this GI tag with more confidence, and I am getting more value. That means getting GI of a product, it not only gives the value, it gives the authenticity of a product and purity of a product. Therefore, getting GI is very important. All our traditional items like, then Darjeeling tea. Darjeeling tea is the first GI of India. But now I think that Darjeeling tea, though they have got the GI, they are not popularizing it the way they should have done it. And I'm very happy to say that West Bengal has got around 21 GI tags. That means these 21 products are protected under the geographical indication, which belongs to certain communities, which are being used there traditionally. So it is very important. So GI, geographical indication, is a very important thing. Even if in your community you think that this is a commercial product being used for over the years, but it needs some kind of protection. You do not know who is the inventor or creator, but it belongs to a community. You can have a society, you can have a government body who can be an applicant of this geographical indication. And once it is protected, now it will add more value to it, and nobody can say that it belongs to some other state. Now Muga silk. nobody from the other parts of the country can, or other parts of the world can say it is a Muga silk of Assam. Now, Muga silk of Assam means it belongs to Assam only. Nobody can use the terminology Muga now. So, like Bangla Rasagula, nobody can say that it is Bangla Rasagula. If somebody is producing Rasagula in Andhra Pradesh, they cannot say it is Bangla Rasagula. It is another form of Rasagula, maybe another form of Rasagula, but it cannot be Bangla Rasagula. Like that, therefore, the protection of these community products which are having commercial value under the GI Act is very important. So this kind of awareness among the students is also essential. Now they can also see around them what are different products being traditionally used in a commercial manner and which can be protected under the GI Act of 1999. Now I am coming to, though I have touched various aspects of entrepreneurship, I am just now focusing on next 5-6 minutes. I will focus on entrepreneurship, then I will conclude my speech. IPR can be used to protect the technology, brand name, design, and creativity behind the concept. You see, some of our students may be very good artists, very creative artists. They may create some good paintings. And once it is digitized, anybody can use it. Anybody can download it and sell it like that. But if you have protected it under the Copyright Act, then it remain belongs to you. Then that artist can sell it with a high value. Nobody can copy it and sell it as their own product. It will continue continue to belong to that artist only. Therefore, any kind of intellectual property, be it a book, be it in writing, be it a software, be it a website design, be it innovation, be it an invention, anything can be protected. Once we start an startups or some enterprise, these type of protections are there. Say tomorrow, one of our participants wants to start sell one product, manufacture one product and sell. Once you are manufacturing one product, there will be several issues of IP may come. What you are going to manufacture? Say you are going to manufacture some kind of breads, special varieties of breads. Where from you got the process? You should be able to think that this process must be protected under IP by somebody else. That means you have to take permission with some monetary value from that party. Then only you can start manufacturing. Once you start manufacturing, then you will need a brand name. That brand name with that trademark should be registered under Trademark Act. Then only you can go for selling the product into the market. Otherwise, it will have no value. So this way, you have to protect your all product, all your trademark, all your design. Then only with a full confidence you can start your enterprise. For entrepreneurs, developing effective intellectual property strategies is crucial for their long-term success and competitiveness. In IP, strategy involves identifying, protecting, managing, and leveraging the intellectual assets of a business. Conducting a thorough IP audit to identify and evaluate the intellectual property such as patents, trademarks, copyright, and trade secrets. So trade secrets can also be protected under the Act. So conducting a thorough IP audit to identify and evaluate the intellectual property such as patents, trademark, copyright, and trade secrets. Once you are starting one enterprise, it may be associated with different types of intellectual property. I will give you one example on e-commerce, how e-commerce can encompass different types of intellectual property. I am coming to that. So taking appropriate steps to protect the IP through registrations, patents, trademarks, or copyright, depending on the nature of the assets. What type of assets we are going to be part of the enterprise? Either it may be patents, trademarks, or copyright. It may be all. Everything has to be kept in mind. That way, IP management strategy is a very important strategy. One in modern world, one entrepreneur is required to know. So effective IP management involves monitoring the marketplace for potential infringement. So there is very critical issue. You have to monitor in the marketplace if anybody is infringing upon your IP. enforcing IP rights whenever necessary, because all your intellectual property is protected under IP Act. So if any infringement is there, you should know how to legally sue, how to approach the court of law, and maintaining accurate records of IP assets. Entrepreneurs should also consider licensing or cross-licensing their IP to generate additional revenue streams. Your IP can be licensed to somebody else. Once you are inventing something, you can license your IP to somebody else, and that involves monetary concerns also. So licensing and cross-licensing the IP to generate additional revenue streams, collaborate with partners for IP. So for patent, it can be collaborated with some partners. If some intellectual property is there, one patent is there, you can have some collaboration with the patentee and you can start the manufacturing of the product or enter new markets. So furthermore, incorporating IP consideration into business contracts, agreements, and partnership can help safeguard their rights. IPR in e-commerce is highly valuable component of e-commerce. You see, nowadays e-commerce is a very important. Many startups are now doing different types of e-commerce. It can be different type of e-commerce, means B2, we call now B2B e-commerce, B2C e-commerce, C2C e-commerce, like that. B2B means business to business e-commerce, business to consumer e-commerce, the other way consumer to business e-commerce. Different types of e-commerce are now taking place. But for any kind of e-commerce, one entrepreneur has to develop an e-commerce platform. Like Amazon, Flipkart, they've developed certain kind of platform. That platform has a lot of innovations. It is a system. That e-commerce system can be patented because it will have different process systems, then different secrets. It can be patented. Then it can be copied. What we can copyright? The content of the web portal. The content of the portal can be protected under the Copyright Act. Then that e-commerce platform will have a certain trademarks, like Amazon, Flipkart. You are also seeing certain trademark. The trademark has to be registered. Then industrial design, because it will have a lot of graphic symbols, displays. Then all this type can be protected under the industrial designs. Then hidden aspects. That platform, you will have different kind of hidden aspects like confidential graphics, source code, objective code, object code, algorithms, then programs or other technical descriptions, data flow chart, logic flow chart, user manual, data structure, database contents. All these can be protected under the trade secret laws. You see, one e-commerce, you are going to start one commerce business and you are going to have a whole lot of IP protection. Then only your product will be completely safe from infringement by the others. Therefore, whatever enterprise we are going to start, IP aspect is a very important in nowadays. Otherwise, you cannot go ahead, because other will come forward and copy your all these business strategies. Your trade secrets can be copied by anybody. Therefore, everything should be properly protected. Then only you can start your enterprise in a with full confidence. Ultimately, a well-defined IP strategy helps entrepreneurs protect their innovations, establish market differentiation, attract investment, and they gain a competitive edge in ever-evolving business landscape. You see, we have always certain affinity for certain kind of brands. If you are going to purchase detergents, I'm not going to mention anything. You know which brand you want. Then you go to that trademarks and you purchase that one. If you want to purchase a biscuit, you have your own affinity towards certain brands. You go to purchase only to that brand of biscuits to satisfy yourself. If you want to go for medicines, though the medical practitioners prescribe many, but we always have a certain weakness towards certain brands of medicines, like that. So why it is that over the years that brand has built confidence upon the people. Therefore, if that brand, the trademark is not protected under the Trademark Act, that confidence would not have been built. Therefore, being an entrepreneur, being a startup, so these aspects should be properly taken care of. Otherwise, the starting a new enterprise with a full protection and full confidence is very difficult. So today, I have tried to discuss in a very preliminary manner, a very basic manner, some basic things of intellectual properties, different types of intellectual property, and how it helps in developing an enterprise, how it will help going to help entrepreneurs. So many of you are very young students. I can tell you, I know that one school student in 1999, I think, 1999, he did a very school level projects in a Children's Science Congress program. Developed one biopesticide by mixing some different types of traditional herbs. And you will be surprised to know, after he continued to work on that biopesticide for another year in the biotechnology department of Guwahati University. And in 17 years of age, he got a patent on it. And that patent had been licensed to some other party, and it is now commercialized. And at this age of 17, he was one of the youngest patentee in the Indian patent. So being a student, you should always think like that. You may be having some new ideas. It may be an innovation, it may be some writings, it may be some designs, or you can maybe a trademark designer also. Many companies will come to you to develop a logo for their company. And these are very, very, very costly affairs. You can charge very high. You can start with that, and it will give you due protection. Designing of a statue, designing of architectural design, all these are protected under the intellectual property rights. So I request all the participants today to be aware about the intellectual property, to be aware about the community rights around you, and so that in India can, in the commercial sector, in the world economy, India can play a very crucial role through intellectual property and intellectual property rights. And therefore, everybody's role is very important. All of us are having their own intellectual capability, and all our intellectual property can lead to many kinds of creations, and all these kinds needs proper protection so that we can have proper right over it, and we can use those rights for our economic benefits, livelihoods, etc. So thank you, the Dhupchand Haldar College Authority, Principal, and Dr. Bototi Dey for inviting me to deliver this talk. I have with my colleague Dipamani Basho also. So I conclude at this juncture. So any questions, one or two questions, otherwise Dipamani will also continue to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful deliberations. I hope the participants must have few questions to ask. So I would invite the participants to unmute yourself one by one and ask your query, please.
Dipamani, do you like to add anything?
Sir, can I ask one real quick question?
Yes.
Sir, I'm the HOD from Department of Microbiology. Students pass out every year and they go for higher studies. That's one way. But like entrepreneurship, we encourage the students because finding real jobs are a tough challenge. So in that scenario, we teach food fermentation technologies, not only within the curriculum, but we have also national forum, Microbiology Society, where we take up online courses. So my question is if we try to develop some products, say for example like guava, in our area there are sort of a surplus of it, we can say, during the season and almost all the year round. So if somebody wants to make some product out of it and make what do you call that, GI tag this thing, what should be the real procedure to follow?
Hello?
You see, what type of product you are Deepamani, please.
Yes. Actually, I was having a bit of problem with my microphone. Okay. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Deepamani Bushra, as ma'am has already said. So I would like to jump into the question that ma'am has asked. So, like you were saying about GI registration. So now, the first thing that we should keep in mind while going for a GI registration is that any product that that will be given the status of a geographical indication has to be something which was done traditionally for a very long period of time in a particular area. uh, I mean, if something which is done recently, maybe it has become popular in a recent few 10 or 15 years, or maybe like a few years due to some commercial aspect, or maybe it became popular within in few years of time. Those kind of things, it is a little bit of difficult for getting a GI, because in case of GI, you have to provide historical evidences. You have to provide historical evidence of that particular product, or that manufactured good. It can be a manufactured good or an agriculture product. So it has to have a history. You have to provide historical evidences which says that this particular product has been present in that particular area for for a very long period of time, and it goes way back in history. So I think anything which has been developed recently, you might not be able to fulfill the criteria of providing historical evidence. So we have to look into that aspect first. After that, we can move for GI registration.
Okay.
Now, what she's asking that, food processing, some product, food processing products from guava or something like that, how it can be
Yes, sir.
protected.
If we have some, venture, if we plan for it or work it out. So in that scenario, that I wanted to know, like first that has to be established that I got it, but I mean it should have an history as well. That's what ma'am said.
If you're asking about different other, I heard the word GI. So, okay, so if you have got into venture of producing a certain product, I think the best way would be to protect it through trademark, because if it has got a special quality to it, in a way that you have produced it. So you can get a trademark registered for that particular product and use it on that product. And that trademark would identify the product, that it comes from a certain community of people, or maybe a certain place, and it has certain qualities that can help in the branding of that product. And if you want to go for patent, in patent, there would be some technicalities involved in it. We'll have to look into the the specifications of the product, the how the product is made, maybe the process of it. More scientific approach has to be done for that particular entire process, how this guava based product is being produced. So in case of patent, we have to look into that part. I mean, like the manufacturing process of it. For that, we can go for patent. Then a trademark I've already told you about. And yeah, I think these two are the closest form of IP through which we can maybe protect the particular product. Yeah, I can only think of these two for this product that you have just mentioned right now.
Okay, so the trademark would be the first and way to go, and it should be a pretty easier than the other steps. That's what you mean to
Yes,
say.
exactly. Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you. Yeah.
Recently, one similar case came to our patent information center also, I think last year. One lady actually produced certain food processed products from different herbs. She wanted to come here to go for patent. Then we advise her, don't go for patent at this now, go for trademark. That will give the due protection to your product. I think initially the trademark will be sufficient. But if your industrial process is a new type of design, then I think you can think about patent, but you have to do a lot of background work before that.
Sir, I have one question. I have already told that our institution it is a rural institution and very close to situated in a Sundarban area. So here different type of rice cultivation, different type of local fish, and different type of fruits, flower. Those have a indigenous characteristics. Please told about something that how to preserve to these indigenous products.
Well, while talking about indigenous products, or more, or maybe if I would like to say traditional knowledge, the knowledge that has been passed on through generations, through the through traditions and cultures of a particular community, they are actually protected under the traditional knowledge. There is a traditional knowledge conservation department in India where you can store the traditional knowledge. They have an archive. They store it there. Um, in case of IP, if I have to say, there might uh, there might be some, like I said, if we have to go for patent, then there has to be a more of a scientific approach to it. However, in case of geographical indication, like I said, if you want to protect it under the GI Act, then if you have proper documentation of it, maybe some history related to it, and also obviously there has to be some standardized specification for those things, then you may go for GI also. But there has to we have to conduct a little bit of research on it. And I think for traditional knowledge kind of things, the best way is to document it in the traditional knowledge archive. And in case of IP, there GI, we can look into the GI, subjected to the research and study of that history of that particular product.
Okay.
I hope
Any more
I was
question?
able to.
So, anybody have any questions? Okay. Now, may I request to Professor Mirza Mukhtan, please conclude this program and give in vote of thanks to our all presenter here. Mirza, please.
Thank you, ma'am. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. I feel honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. At the outset, I, on behalf of the IPR cell and Dhurbachan Haldar College, convey my deep regards and hearty thanks to our Honorable Speaker, Dr. Jaydev Barua. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence, sir. Thank you for addressing the issue of utmost importance and relevance today. Our sincere thanks to Deepamani Baishwa, project scientist, for addressing all our queries. My sincere thanks to Principal Sir Dr. Satyabratu Sahu for his help and support at various stages. My words are not enough to express the gratitude to our IQAC coordinator, Madam Professor Sudakshina Sengupta. I would also like to thank our beloved convener of IPR Cell, Dr. Bratati De, for her constant guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. I'm also very thankful to all the members of the IPR cell, Dr. Malini Basu, Dr. Rupanvita Sarkar, Professor Manasi Bhuniamal, Dr. Prabir Ghosh, Dr. Pushpita Ray, for their unflinching support and coordination to shape this seminar. We are also very thankful to Dr. Anirban Shah and Professor Rasidul Karim for managing the technical aspects of today's program. I'm also very thankful to all our colleagues, and respected faculty members who always stand by us and motivate us. A heartfelt thanks to our students and all the participants for their active participation. Thank you for making this event a successful one. With these warm words and kind message, we now move to the end of today's seminar. I wish every one of you a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are conclude and close our program here. Thank you, all of you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I am leaving now.